Welcome, Sean.
Thank you. Morning. Morning, everyone.
It's day 3 of the FinTech Festival, your first visit to the Singapore FinTech Festival. How have you found it so far?
Oh, it's been fantastic. Wet, I must say. Energizing. Just incredible to see 60,000 people go at digital plumbing infrastructure. Really cool.
I'm getting my steps in as well, walking through the halls, trying to see all the exhibitors. It's quite phenomenal. I'm really excited about talking to you at accelerating change, leveraging financial infrastructure. But before we dig into that, tell me a bit about Chubb. You're a global insurer, more than 40,000 employees, 54 countries. The insurance industry is an exciting place to be at the moment as you look to leverage technology for change. Just tell us a little bit about what's happening at Chubb.
Yeah, happy to. I think you say insurance is interesting. And for me, I feel very passionate about that. I think insurance has never been more relevant or exciting. And one of the themes in the last few days has been around financial wellness and health. Right, that's another example, I think, of the relevance of insurance in today's society and economy. When you look at the problems that need to be solved with, whether it's aging, whether it's healthcare, whether it's catastrophe management, cyber, right? There's so many, I think, systemic, secular changes. Insurance has such a vital role to play. So, as an industry, I think it's sort of a super interesting time. Where Chubb comes in, I mean, as you say, we're global. We're in 54 countries. We do the full range of products, whether it's life, accident, health, property, and casualty, and we do it from the really small, right? You can take a nickel premium all the way up to some of the more large, complex, multinational type organizations and the problems that they're trying to solve. So it's a very extensive product shelf and service capability that we bring to our customers.
Chubb's a major underwriter of insurance globally, and you're now looking to get into embedded insurance. Tell us more about this and what does it mean for the company and how you operate going forward?
Yeah, I think, our journey began, so when you say getting in, our journey began probably about 7 or 8 years ago. And what we wanted to do was to take, as I said, we got this fantastic product shelf, all that balance sheet strength that we have and the stability. How do we take all of that and then deliver that to what we saw as a big change, right, around the economy and how people transact, right? And you've got entire verticals being reimagined, and just here you look at banking, just getting totally reimagined, or you have new verticals that just emerge and come up, e-commerce, mobility, right? So how do we make insurance like relevant, accessible, affordable in those verticals? How do we meet the changing demands of the customers in those verticals? So what we wanted to do was reimagine a bit the proposition that we can bring to our partners. So we start exclusively on a B2B2C path. So we distribute now through partners to their customers. Clearly, technology is a critical part of that. So we built our own technology integration capabilities called Chubb Studio. So however a partner wants to integrate API, SDK, widget, blah, 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 we can do that. And so what we're able to do is abstract the complexity of insurance on the back end. Say to our partners, we can take care of the complexity of the operational stuff around insurance, the claims, the regulation, and the capital. And we can sit down with our partners now and design and create products and services that solve real customer pain points for them. And the core of that, the delivery mechanism of that, long-winded answer to your question, would be embedded, right? So that is the way that people transact and want to buy. So if you're buying financial services on the phone, you're taking out a loan, you're making a bill payment, right? You're looking for financial service advice. It's done on the phone, and so putting insurance there alongside of that in a way that's interesting, it's contextual, it's relevant, it meets the customer's needs. That, to me, sort of in a broad sense, right, is how we think about embedded insurance. So we set out on that path, as I said, a few years back. So we're now at the point now. Asia is just an amazing set of opportunities for us, and for the reasons that you can imagine, right? It's very, very digital. Same in Latin America, and we see it in North America, Europe, and China. And we've grown that, so it's about $1 billion now of revenue. We have 200 partners globally, and we're very optimistic about the growth potential for the business going forward.
I love the B2B2C and the idea of really providing modern APIs for your partners to integrate to. Do you have any, or what's the sort of feedback you're getting from your partners, and maybe through them from the consumers as well, that really stand out to you as a thumbs up for this type of innovation?
I think it's the growth that we've seen. So we've been growing, 25-30% CAGR. What's interesting, our partners all talk to each other. Right?
It's good.
And it's good. So existing partners, and you get a bit of a flywheel effect there as well, right? Because, a partner in Asia will talk to a partner in Latin America and say, Chubb is doing this. And I say, well, can you do this? Can you do this for us? New partners often look to validate their thinking with existing partners, so we can put them in touch. So I think that speaks to the success that we've had with partners. Clearly, delivering a first-in-class experience to their customers is critical, because we never lose sight of that, right? Fundamentally, we're there to handle a claim for their customer, because they've had a situation that's not been good, and that's our role, and that's where we step in. So we never lose sight of that. So for us, our claims experience is top of mind. And just to give you one example on that, one of our major partners, digitally distributed, a life product. Our NPS score on that is in the 90s. Right,
that's
so
fantastic.
I think that that speaks to the emphasis on the claims.
That's some of the huge benefits of this type of innovation. At Stripe, we see our customers really diving into that customer experience. So that's a great segue to ask maybe a bit of a selfish question, in that what type of infrastructure do you need to make this successful, and how did you go about making the decision to work with Stripe on your innovation?
Yeah, I think so. I would start with when we sit down with our partners and we go in and say, we're going to sell insurance, right, through your digital real estate. Sometimes you get met with surprise or sort of skepticism, because of that digital real estate is so valuable to them. Every pixel comes at a price, right? And so putting insurance in there, takes work to orchestrate something that protects that customer experience. So you start with that. So when we come in and we're now part of that ecosystem, our integration points, our transaction capability on the back end of that has to be fast, has to be secure, it has to be reliable. We're global, right? We're in all markets. A number of our partners are global. So the infrastructure and the backbone that we have has to reflect that. The checkout experience as well, right? It's clearly another sort of important component. Our partners, demand up to 5.9 reliability. Right? So when you're looking at the payment option, and I think it's no surprise to anyone here, right? If that's a common point where people drop off as well, right? So all of that, right? I think hopefully I described sort of the mirror of what Stripe does, and so I think it makes it a fantastic option for us to be part of our infrastructure.
Yeah, we typically see that up to 50% of any transaction fails if there's too much friction when someone's at the point of excitement of purchasing, whether it's insurance or whether it's a T-shirt. If there's too much friction, they get distracted and move on. And just being able to provide that to our customers like Chubb, but as well as make sure that we're extremely reliable. Very top of mind with Black Friday, Cyber Monday coming up, where last year we processed about $18 billion through that. So again, at your scale and what you're doing, I can see why that's really important. A question on this that's not technology, but really culture and people through change. How do you think about change management in any project, but particularly one that's going to be global and impact not just Chubb, but Chubb's partners and customers? And how do you prepare for that? And what sort of lessons could you share with our audience here on managing the people and culture side of a change like this?
I think my super interesting question, and you put people ahead of technology any day, in terms of having the right people on this. I think my starting point is that having the right people, yes, right, but the problem statements that we're after, I think, are very natural, right? We want to raise the bar, right? If you're looking at an existing process, challenge it, break it down. It's like, well, why have we always done it that way? And I think what you find, and I found very quickly, people respond well to that, right? It becomes natural, right? Of course you want to do things better. Of course you want to do things quicker. Of course you want to work across silos and functions. You want to be part of a team that's focused on a problem statement, on making an impact, changing something for the better. And I think when you frame it that way, in a very simple, real, practical way, and not layer it with sort of a lot of complexity, I think you start from that's a really great a great place. And obviously, as you grow. With that, then clearly you need to put in the right career pathing and development priorities and the training and the upskill. When you look, if I look back even just in like 7 to 8 years on the business, the type of capabilities that we now need to be able to deliver on our partners' expectations and delivering that customer it's the totally different skill set that we've had to bring in. So sort of talent management, talent acquisition is an important component of the change management. But to me it sounds simple, but if you anchor this in something that's just supernatural and you're setting that bar higher and you're clearly focused on a great outcome, people respond, right?
Well, let's hope that growth rate continues. We're here to support you as you grow, particularly around Asia with my team here. Both Stripe and Chubb have stands here, so if anyone wants to come and learn more there, and Sean and I will be here for a little while afterwards if you'd like to grab us. So with that, please thank Sean for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Mr. Harapin.